Alright, boom. We back out here. For context, Logan Paul, Coffeezilla released a three-part docu-series, basically explaining how Logan Paul was scamming his fans and followers and viewers with a cryptocurrency or an NFT known as CryptoZoo. Now listen, I thought Logan had become cool. Bless you. I thought Logan had become cool. But apparently, he's involved in some nefarious shit, and basically, this is Logan's response to that whole three-part docu-series. Yeah? It's 7 minutes. Doesn't really seem like a full response to the whole docu-series, because that docu-series probably goes about, and it has like an hour of runtime. Here's the 7 minutes. And let's see what he has to say. Because Coffeezilla produced some fairly damning evidence here. Alright, let's go.
Coffeezilla. I watched your three-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money. While you're...
How is that using your name for views and money? It's what he does. It's what he does. He discovers and uncovers scams. Especially in business and finance. That's what his whole shtick is. So I don't know, man.
Work used to be impartial, your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment, and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions.
Ooh. Very real errors with very real repercussions. Now let me remind you what he's saying. He's probably talking about legal action. Let's go.
Coffee, you took a shot at my reputation. So in this video today, I'm going to be defending myself with facts, something that you have gotten in the habit of twisting as you continue to morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see, Coffeezilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative.
A response to that I saw already on Twitter, or Coffeezilla already responded on Twitter and said that like he never once tried to or he never once wanted to work with law enforcement, except one time when law enforcement contacted him to get his evidence.
He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But as opposed to just telling...
That is just not true. I enjoy watching his videos. I mean, he puts a lot of work into them, and they're really good.
I'm going to show you some of the core discrepancies that I caught in Coffeezilla's investigation. Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process.
So basically, what Logan here is saying that he hired a criminal to run his business. Now, I don't know about you, but that does not seem like the most intelligent move to make. I'm hearing a lot of lack of taking personal responsibility here. But if I hired somebody who turned out to be a criminal, it would be my fault. Because the guy's a fucking criminal. I hired the criminal. I am paying the criminal.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3.
The vaping is bad, I agree.
Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits?
But a fondness for orange jumpsuits does not mean you weren't trying to rip him off, Logan.
Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear?
Him potentially having an agenda is probably true for literally anyone involved in this whole thing. You had an agenda. He has an agenda. Everybody had an agenda.
And moved on. Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to believe it. And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zach Kelling?
You.
I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me. And surely you knew Emilio, the gentleman who supposedly let his child invest in a cryptocurrency.
For context, Emilio is one of the people that apparently got scammed in this whole thing. And well, let's just say, I think he said that he lost like $100,000 or something like that, or like $50,000 from CryptoZoo. I mean, which, to be fair, it's your fault. You're investing in fake money. And I'm just going to say this. There's a reason why markets and money is regulated. Why there are laws in place. Because we've been through this shit. We've gone through this shit before. Right? There is a reason rules are in place in terms of how companies and businesses should behave with money and etc. But everybody wants to have things that are unregulated. Right? No rules. Exhibit A as to why we should not be doing shit like this.
He was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know. Why? Because it was a clear sign that he was also untrustworthy. You seemed pretty excited when the guy told you that he couldn't hatch the eggs.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
You're kidding! You can't hatch?
You're kidding. You can't hatch?
You can't hatch?
Yeah, 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that.
I mean,
Oh, we got a duck.
I mean, okay. It seems like Coffeezilla got that part wrong. You can, in fact, hatch. You can, in fact, use the stuff. The JPEG. You can get your JPEG. That's practically worth nothing. Not sure what this is supposed to prove, though.
And as you pointed out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
That I kind of have to agree with that, because I did not read that fine print either when I was watching the 3-part docuseries. And like, I do agree with Logan. He did kind of push the fact that like you couldn't hash the eggs. He was really pushing that.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way,
Yeah.
guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
And surely a real internet detective would not break criminal and civil laws in trying to get information, right? So why have you allowed the illegal recording of Jeff's phone call without his permission? And
That's bad. As anybody knows, you aren't allowed to record people, like at least private conversations, stuff like that, without them knowing. If anything happens in school, like during the Corona period, we obviously had to have uni in Zoom calls, and our teachers would tell us that like, if you want the lectures recorded and put up on the uni back end platform place thing, we can do that for you. Do not do that yourselves. It is illegal. We do not consent to it. This is bad.
And then more like an internet criminal, post it online.
And it was interesting. It was like, this is wild.
Now, although you didn't verify any backgrounds, substantiate any evidence, took multiple criminals' words as truth, and broke laws, you still published the defamation. However, unlike you, the blockchain doesn't lie. So let's highlight some things that you did point out. Crypto King Jake stole $6 million. True or not, we had already removed him from the team when we realized he was a bad actor and his motives were purely financial. Conman Eddie, lead developer, stole $1.7 million. True or not, when we learned he was a bad actor as well, he was immediately removed from the team. While myself and Jeff sold nothing and made nothing as verified through investigation and the blockchain.
Jeff, Logan's manager,
Okay.
to my knowledge, never sold. Neither did Logan Paul.
I repeat, Jeff and I made no money and will never make any money on Crypto Zoo. In fact, we only lost money trying to pick up the pieces. As has been the case with dozens of
Fair.
crypto and NFT projects, the space is unfortunately ripe for bad actors to infiltrate projects that start with even the best intentions. Jake the Snake is no longer affiliated with Crypto Zoo, and we hope the money he reappropriated was worth ruining his reputation. Conman Eddie is being investigated by a higher authority that I cannot speak on. As you can imagine, I was not cleared from legal to discuss much of this, including the legal process being undertaken and the criminal investigations going on during the fallout, but I do appreciate you calling out that rats under my nose stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back. But even after 12 months of work, you've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that Crypto Zoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? I got everything stolen from me in our community, stopped promoting publicly as soon as I knew the extent of the internal issues, took all of the heat on social, and you still published a defamatory hit piece fully knowing I was innocent just so you could enrich yourself in your $10 million studio. Sharp, but deeply unethical, dangerously misleading, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. And maybe we could have talked about this.
Okay, so Logan is pulling out the big guns already. Lawyers coming up. I'm not sure if that's the smartest move, really. I don't know. I'm not sure how to judge this whole this whole response, because he's not. I mean, he has responded to a couple things. Yeah, but he's not really saying a whole lot. Probably because, again, as you already mentioned, he hasn't been cleared by legal to say any of this. But him taking Coffeezilla to court is kind of big. I mean, because this guy, I think he's worth, what, like $40 million? I'm not sure how much Coffeezilla is worth.
If you had reached out to me, personally, not my manager, Jeff, who is not me, Steven, but the first time you did was on Christmas Eve after you released your series so you could rely on false statements and unreliable people used recklessly. The subject line was third request.
And also about this, Coffeezilla, I think already said on Twitter that he tried to contact Logan via Instagram, I think. Not sure if that's true though.
For comment.
I think I saw
quite.
read that.
This will be my third time reaching out to you and your team. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. Okay, so the last time on Christmas Eve, after the fact, was to me. You have a funny way of twisting things. And I also noticed you left out that part on Twitter. Why hide that? Trust me, CryptoZoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it. And honestly, it sucks that after years of personal reform, going through trials and tribulations and busting my ass to evolve into a person that I can say I'm actually proud of, you led the charge to drive and monetize a narrative telling millions of people that I'm a fraud or I tried to scam my audience. That is patently false. This video is mainly for my fans and anyone who's on the fence that I hope I can help understand a situation that is tremendously complex but has been oversimplified for both views and clicks. And lastly, Coffeezilla, I now know your motives with this. Clout and money, good for you, but also you're slimiest. So I'm not gonna come on any of your podcasts. If you wanna come on Impulsive and talk about this, that's fine. You've denied my invitation multiple times. You're still invited. It can be a one-on-one. If not, we're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
So bro, literally in the same breath, bro just straight up invited him onto his podcast and said he's suing him. Man. Okay. That was Logan Paul's response. Honestly, let me look at the comments here a little bit. It's like hiring a team of former bank robbers to run a new bank you decided to open. Fascinating. I do agree. That was kind of stupid, bro. It's like, I feel like if you're the main guy in that project, you should be making sure everybody gets vetted fully. Can you imagine threatening someone after scamming a bunch of investors? Fair. A masterclass in how to not take accountability for anything. True. I'm pretty sure this video was probably potentially scripted. He obviously spoke to his legal team before he released this. I can't imagine a world where he didn't. The part where he apologized for the victim and gives them their money back, maybe shed a tear. Lol. 0 apologies, 0 addressing victims, 0 accountability. Well, of course he can't take accountability because if he says it's my fault, and then the whole legal thing, it goes out of the, it goes to shit. True, the definition of no honor among thieves. Absolutely, that is true though. His own audience isn't on his side anymore. Love to see it. The fact he thinks he's a victim is crazy. So reaching out through Logan's management is not the way to reach out to Logan. Got it. Makes perfect sense. That is kind of a wacky point though. That is kind of a wacky point though, 'cause as far as I know, like if you want to reach Logan Paul, you reach Logan Paul through his management. You rarely contact him directly. I'm pretty sure like Logan and KSI, they speak directly, but like I don't think like anyone can just DM Logan and expect a response. It's a really fun game. And also Logan, almost all NFTs are just pictures. True, but that CryptoZoo was supposed to be a game. He said it's coming out. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He did give us like a launch year, 23-24. Let's see. How dare you not know that that person you interviewed was a criminal? People, then why did you hire him? Haha, silly me. Yeah, very stupid. Very stupid from Logan, in my opinion. Not the best move there.